Nature is a beautiful thing, and try as we might, human beings have never really been able to fully tame it. We have attempted to beat nature into a sort of submission and find out all of her secrets, but there will likely never be a time when humans fully understand what's happening on planet Earth. There are just too many moving parts that make this Earth tick, and the secrets held by the planet are enough to leave scientists permanently scratching their heads throughout the decades. From the mysterious snow rollers to the forest that glows, there really are some incredible things throughout our world. Make sure to stick around until the end. You wouldn't want to miss the incredible fire tornadoes. Here are 15 of the strangest moments ever observed in nature. Number 15. The spiky snow of the Penitentes. Penitentes, also known as Neves penitentes or penitent snows, are snow formations generally found at very high altitudes. They take the form of elongated, thin blades of hardened snow or ice closely spaced and pointing towards the general direction of the sun at the apex of its route throughout the sky. The name of these formations comes from the resemblance of a field of the snow spikes to a crowd of kneeling people doing penance, or repenting for the sins that they have committed. The formations evoke the tall, pointed habits and hoods worn by brothers of religious orders in the processions of penance during Spanish Holy Week, which is an incredibly important religious happening for millions of people throughout the world. The resemblance of these snow structures to the religious ceremony is striking, and many believe that it isn't just a coincidence, but actually tied in religiously through an act of God. These spires of snow and ice grow over all glaciated and snow-covered areas in the dry Andes, though are only located above altitudes of 4,000 meters. Number 14. They see snow rollin'. A snow roller is a naturally occurring phenomenon that happens when a layer of snow is rolled up by the wind into a large ball. The size of the snowball can range from a few inches to several feet. Snow rollers are very rare and only form under specific conditions. The snow must be powdery and dry, and the wind needs to be blowing at just the right speed in order for them to form and propagate. Once the roller is moving, however, it becomes very difficult to stop it, and they often result in massive snowballs barreling down the side of a mountain. This is paired with the fact that when the conditions are right, there are often multiple snow rollers that form at the same time, therefore resulting in a massive event that actually has the capability to cause quite a bit of damage to houses and towns along the mountainside. Although the phenomenon is rare, it definitely shouldn't be overlooked, and preparation needs to be made in order to be ready for the bizarre happenings of our planet. Number 13. A storm of dust and dirt. Drone footage over the central New South Wales town of Parkes captured a huge wall of dust moving across the landscape in early 2020, and some of the shots captured are absolutely terrifying. It looks like a veritable tsunami of dirt and dust rolling across the land, and despite the fact that it's only dust, it truly looks like this has the capability to damage anything it moves past. Luckily for the people living within it, the most damage experienced were some scratches to paint on cars and houses. Damaging winds produced by thunderstorms across the state whipped up the dust storms, effectively turning daytime into night for some of the towns caught in the crossfire. The dust completely blocked out the sun, much like a volcano would during an eruption, and left many people wondering what was going on and why it was suddenly pitch black through their windows. People were advised to remain indoors, and many went outside anyway to see the massive storm sweep through their town. It was certainly an incredible event for everyone in the area. Number 12. The world's background hum. The Taos hum is an incredibly bizarre phenomenon that has been reported throughout the entirety of the world and throughout time as well. Reports of the hum go back several decades, showcasing that it isn't just some elaborate prank. It is a long-standing phenomenon that people are truly incapable of explaining. The hum is reported to be a low, throbbing background noise that only a few specific people are able to hear.
Damn, this is scary.
This is likely due to eardrum damage or the inability to perceive sounds of lower frequencies, which is actually becoming a large problem with the modern generation. The hum generally peaked between 30 and 40 hertz and was only heard during cool weather with a light breeze, which is a strange combination to be required. The fact that nobody can explain the origin of this hum is quite concerning. Is it some sort of military test or perhaps interference by some sort of alien technology? Nobody knows, but the Taos hum is still being reported by people throughout the world to this very day. Number 11. The Great Monarch Migration. The Great Monarch Migration occurs every year in North America, and it's certainly an incredible sight. Every fall, millions of monarch butterflies migrate from their summer homes in the northern United States and Canada to their wintering grounds in central Mexico. The monarch migration is one of the most amazing natural phenomena in the world, with the butterflies traveling up to 3,000 miles to reach their wintering grounds. Along the way, they must cross the Gulf of Mexico, a journey of over 500 miles. The monarch migration is a complex journey that is not fully understood. Scientists believe that the butterflies use a combination of cues from the sun, the Earth's magnetic field, and possibly even the stars to navigate. The monarch migration is threatened by a number of factors, including the loss of habitat, the use of pesticides, and climate change. In recent years, the monarch population has declined sharply, and the migration itself is in danger of disappearing. If the monarch migration disappears, it would be a tragedy not only for the butterflies, but for the many other animals that depend on them, including people who rely on the butterflies for pollination of their crops. The monarch migration is an essential part of the ecosystem, and its loss would be felt by us all. Number 10. The world's deadliest lake. Lakes are generally not considered to be very deadly, and most people don't worry about taking a dip for a swim. This lake, however, is a massive exception to the rule, and swimming in it is a bad idea. If you look around its banks, you'll find several animals that seem to have turned to stone because of the terrifying body of water. Lake Natron is a salt lake located in Tanzania, and the amount of sodium in its water is so toxic and so mineralizing that when many animals fall in, they are unable to crawl out and have all of the water in their cells sucked out. Effectively converting them into a statue. They're then slowly covered in the salt sediment, which gives them their telltale stone-like appearance. Lake Natron is a bloody red in color, which just adds to its already terrifying reputation. It also has a very high rate of evaporation because the sun rises directly over top of it, meaning that as the water leaves the system, the salt remains and makes the basin even saltier. This has compounded over time to create the lake scene here today. There haven't been any reported cases of a human dying from drowning within the lake, though that is largely because swimming in a blood-red lake is not appealing to most. One can only imagine how painful it would be to die within those waters. Number 9. The starling flock phenomenon. Starling flocks are a phenomenon that has existed for centuries. The largest flocks have been recorded in England, where they are known as murmurations. These flocks can number in millions and cover vast areas of the sky. The reasons for their formation are not fully understood, but they are thought to be related to feeding, roosting, and communication. The flocks are often seen in the late afternoon or early evening, and they typically disperse shortly after sunrise. The footage you're seeing now showcases just how massive these flocks can be. The fact that millions of birds can all come together in a single flock is absolutely astounding, and starlings are the only birds in the world to be observed in such massive numbers. It almost looks like a black carpet across the sky, and the shapes that they have made are absolutely astonishing. They generally fly in large round circles and have also been seen in arrowhead patterns or various other shapes, begging the question as to why they would fly in such a way without being trained. Number 8. Perfectly round storm clouds. When looking up towards the sky, most people expect to see a rather average-looking cloud, if not a completely clear blue sky above them. Sometimes, however, after a particularly nasty thunderstorm or even a tornado, clouds that resemble bubbles or giant marbles can form in the sky, which would worry even the most staunch believer in science. A line of severe thunderstorms can produce these strange-looking clouds that resemble giant bubbles. These are called cumulonimbus minimus, and they form when large chunks of ice or hail fall from the thunderstorm and drag air downward. This can create the bubble-like appearance. Mammatus clouds are named after female udders or mammary. The icy pockets most often form under the anvil of thunderstorms and indicate conditions in the area where it might still be favorable for severe weather. This is very common in areas of the United States like Tornado Valley, where inclement weather exists for large portions of the year and ideal conditions for these clouds are created. Number 7. The forest that glows. Many people think of forests as gorgeous, wondrous places with lots of natural magic and a crazy amount of detail present in every aspect of them. That is what artists Frederic Van Schoor and Tarek Mawad believed when they began to create a very unique art exhibit, taking up a massive section of a real-life forest. The artists spent 6 weeks in the forest, fascinated by the silence and natural occurrences in nature, especially the phenomenon known as bioluminescence. They personified the forest in order to accentuate the natural beauty by creating bioluminescent plants and glowing magical mushrooms that speak volumes to any visitor that enters the minds of the artists through their positively gorgeous creation. The glowing forest received multinational acclaim, and many people have now visited it throughout the years in order to take a peek at what a fully bioluminescent forest would look like. Many compare it to the very popular forests from the movie Avatar, in which many of the leaves and mushrooms glowed beautifully during the night. Number 6. The Waterfall of Eternal Flames. The Eternal Flame Waterfall is a small waterfall located in the Shale Creek Preserve, situated deep in western New York. At the bottom of the fall, there is a small hole with a very unique quality, which many people find to be very bizarre. There is a permanently burning flame located behind the wall of water, despite the constant deluge that falls in front of it. It's actually fairly well known what causes it. The hole is connected to a massive source of natural gas, so whenever there is a spark, that leak is lit and then fueled by the natural gases below. The flame has gone out a couple of times over the years, but all it takes is a single spark or a bit of assistance from a human in order to get it lit again. Once it is burning, it tends to remain that way for decades, with the water not providing enough force to extinguish it. The source of the natural gas has not been well explored, and people are unsure how long it will last burning at the bottom of the falls. Some predict that it will last for centuries, while others believe that it's already running out and will go out for good within the next couple of years. Hopefully, the eternal flame remains eternal for a long time to come. Before we go on, do like this video, smash that subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face while you're sleeping. It's time for today's subscriber pick. This incredible photograph showcases a very rare type of wave in which two large deluges of water form as one, reaching a point in the middle that is able to continue moving through the ocean. This one seems to be moving inland upon a city, where it'll envelop the town and then smash down on top of it. These kinds of waves tend to last for a very long time because of how they are constructed, and they're also very rare to see. There aren't many photos like this one in the world. What do you think of the point at the top of the wave? Do you think this would be fun to surf on, all the way up into a town? Remember to comment down below with the hashtag subscriberpick and let us know what you think. Now, on to the next topic. Number 5. The Great Blue Hole. The Great Blue Hole is a submarine sinkhole off the coast of Belize. It is circular in shape, 318 meters across and 124 meters deep. It was formed during the last glacial period when sea levels were much lower and the seafloor was exposed to the air. As the ocean began to rise again, the cave was slowly flooded and eventually became a sinkhole. The Great Blue Hole is part of the larger Belize Barrier Reef Reserve System. a World Heritage Site of the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, UNESCO. The hole has actually become one of the world's most popular scuba diving sites as it prevents a straight drop-off that makes learning quite easy while still providing the thrill of depth for the more professional divers. It's particularly interesting to note that there is still life within the large sinkhole despite the effective disconnection that it has from the waters surrounding it. Number 4. The healing crystal of the desert. Desert rose selenite is a combination of selenite and gypsum. The crystals form in sandstone deposits near hot springs, which superheat the surrounding sand and crystallize it. The crystals are shaped like roses, which is where they get their distinctive name. Desert rose selenite is used in crystal healing to bring clarity and peace, and is also used to remove negative energy from the chakras. Desert rose selenite is associated with the crown chakra. It is said to be a stone of spiritual development. It provides mental clarity and can enhance your connection to the divine, which many people are searching for in the modern age. Desert rose selenite also has a strong connection with the angelic realm and can be used in many different cleansing rituals. There are many reports depicting the healing properties of this particular crystal, and even if many of them may be placebos, it's still an interesting phenomenon to check out. Number 3. The goats that climb trees. Morocco has a very unique way of harvesting argan oil, which is a very lucrative export for farmers within the area. Argan trees are native to Morocco and are mostly found in the southwestern region of the country. The trees are thorny and have been known to grow as tall as 20 meters, meaning that climbing them is difficult for humans. In order to harvest the argan nuts, which are used to make argan oil, Moroccan farmers have to climb the trees, as there isn't any way to shake them down. This is where the goats come in. Moroccan goats are trained to climb the trees and eat the argan nuts. The farmers then collect the nuts from the goats' droppings in a process that is very time-consuming but results in a very high-quality product. Moroccan argan oil is used in cosmetics and cooking and is also said to have health benefits such as reducing wrinkles and preventing stretch marks. Number 2. Waves that glow in the dark. Most people don't expect to see waves glowing in the dark when they look out into the ocean at night. Bioluminescent waves, however, are a type of bioluminescence that can be found in the ocean. These waves are created when tiny plankton, known as dinoflagellates, are distributed and release a chemical called luciferin. This chemical reacts with oxygen to create a bright light. Bioluminescent waves can be blue, green, or red in color and have been observed in many different parts of the world. The light waves can often be spotted from onshore, and contrary to popular belief, they don't always have to correspond with actual waves cresting within the water. They can create their own sort of wave of light, which is definitely quite the spectacle when people are only really expecting their run-of-the-mill waves. If you're ever in a place where these bioluminescent waves exist, you should definitely take a while to observe them. They're one of the most gorgeous phenomena on the planet. Number 1. A tornado caught ablaze. Tornadoes are powerful, destructive whirlwinds that can cause extensive damage to property and loss of life. Although they most commonly occur in the United States, they can occur anywhere in the world. A tornado is a column of air that rotates at high speeds and extends from a thunderstorm to the ground. They can occur during any season, but they are most common in the spring and summer months in the United States. They are particularly common in the area referred to as Tornado Alley, which is a region of the Midwest. And while tornadoes are powerful and deadly enough, something absolutely frightening can happen when they come in contact with a large enough source of fire. The fire can move up the fast-moving oxygen of the swirling vortex, catching the entire thing on fire and resulting in a fire tornado. These are far more dangerous than an average tornado, and if you see one, your best bet is to get out of the way as fast as you can. Trying to hunker down like in a normal tornado could result in you being cooked alive. So which of these things do you think are the strangest? Do you think humanity will ever be able to fully understand what's going on out in nature? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe, as it helps us to understand what kind of videos you like to watch. And that way, we can tell what kind of content we should make for you next. Tap that bell icon so you're always notified of our newest videos, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.